Alright, so today I want to do multitasking. I want to go ahead and do the AC on this vehicle, and I want to do the rear brakes. Now, the reason why I'm multitasking is because it takes a long time to do the AC the right way. If I could shoot a can in here, which would probably take about 10 minutes to shoot a can or two in here, but I have no idea what the system is like. The system could have a giant hole in it somewhere in the system, and if I shoot a can in here, it's going to go right out into the atmosphere, which is not good. Now, while it's legal for the average user to do that, as a professional auto mechanic, I cannot get away with that. What I have to do is I have to do it professionally, even from on my own. Um, so, as a licensed AC repair, I have to do this the right way, which means I have to check the system first, make sure there's no leak, and then I'm okay to shoot some Freon in there, some refrigerant in there. The cans you can buy from, just about any store nowadays, but you got to be careful what you buy. If you buy cans that have sealant in it or some oils, depending on what vehicle you're working on, you could run into trouble. Those sealants, well, may close the leak that you have. When somebody comes along with a piece of equipment and recycles it into the machine, that sealant can gum up their machine and cause thousands of dollars worth of damage. The oils that are there are for specific vehicles. There's specific weights for specific vehicles. Hybrids are the biggest. If you try shooting a can with oil, go hybrid, you may end up causing an expensive repair on your vehicle when the compressor basically just destroys itself in the oils. So you have to be really careful about what you're doing and what you're buying. Those signs are great. We charge your own AC, do your own AC, and it will work. And it will work okay. It's not going to work great because when you shoot a can into here, what you end up doing is you'll end up with a hose of whatever length that's got air in it. So you're shooting the refrigerant and air into it. The air is an insulator and doesn't do well for transferring heat. So on those very hot days, it's not going to work as well as it should. Maybe on a cool day like today, if I turn the AC on, even with just the slightest charge, it will seem to work. And this may have refrigerant in. I don't know. On a day like this, it does feel cool, but it could be just be drawing in vent air through and just feel cool. I don't know if it has any gas in it or not. It is missing the cap, and that's not a good thing. When the cap, my head cam here, when the cap is missing, that's not really a good thing because all this dirt is now on and around the area. So if I hook my gauges into it, two things are going to happen. Dirt's going to get inside the system, and dirt's going to get inside my gauges. So hopefully I have a replacement cap. I have a couple of replacement caps. I bought a kit, and I took the caps off the Grand Prix because I don't need those anymore. I recycled the refrigerant out of the Grand Prix the other day, playing with some of the equipment that I have. I have, as you can see on the ground, there's some refrigerator equipment there. I have my gauges. I have a vacuum pump. I have a portable reclaimer. Picked that up off eBay for about $300. And then I have a tank that I have for my machine that I have in the basement that I really didn't want to struggle to bring upstairs to do this call and then bring it back downstairs. I've always wanted one of the portable reclaimers. I bought it used off eBay for about $300, and it works pretty well. I was using it on the Grand Prix to recycle what I had in there out of it, and that tank's got plenty of refrigerant in it also. The only thing I forgot to bring up in the basement is the scale. I have to go get that when it's time to recharge it. But what I need to do first is I need to diagnose it. So what we need to do next is to clean off this fitting, get all this dirt out of here and off of here, and get it ready so I can safely hook up my gauge. So let's move the camera in and do that first. We're also going to go ahead and do rear brakes in this vehicle. I didn't mention that already. I'm going to do rear drum brakes. Now, to do this correctly, it's going to take time to do the AC correctly. So I thought I'd show you how multitasking works for an auto mechanic and how flat rate technicians make money. Flat rate technicians do their work. Let's go ahead and start moving around. Flat rate technicians do their work and make their money based on production. How much actual time they produce versus how much time they take doing the job. So when a flat rate mechanic can multitask or do more than one job at a time, they can make more money, obviously. So this is a prime example of how a flat rate technician can make a lot of money by doing multiple jobs at once. If I had an AC job and a brake job, I could do both at the same time. You don't do one and then the other. To clean this off, and go ahead wipe off the outside, and then blow out the inside like that. Okay, pretty clean. Now let's go ahead and hook up our gauges. Hose there because I'm going to need it when I take the rear wheels off. So here I have a gauge set. Had this for a very long time, mid-90s. Gauge set hangs up on the hood. You can see it. You have a middle hose, which will go to our equipment if needed. I should clean these out too. Yeah, blow these out too. Hose. Everything's coming off. It's on the outside, that's okay. So these are quick disconnects. The low side fitting is here. Put it on and close it while you know what pressure's in here. Must be air pressure because last time I used this gauge set I vacuumed it down. So there must be refrigerator in this thing. That's where that came from. Okay. So that was a little bit of refrigerant. There's not much refrigerant in here. It's got about 20 psi, which is really nothing. It should be standing still like this. Engine temperature around ambient. Pressure to the gauge is usually right around. Pressure at the gauge is usually right around ambient pressure. Ambient temperature equals ambient pressure. Usually right around there. So we have something in here. So again, I can't just vent this to the atmosphere. Should have trusted my gauge as being. Okay, here's the high side fitting. Kind of a silly place for it, but we did put it here. Close it down. We should have about the same pressure there. So I can't just put this somewhere. That's gotta go back. So I have to get what's in here out. So to do that, I have the reclaimer. Now this could very well be 20 pounds of air. I don't know. Could test it. So here is. Yeah, sorry, if it's air, it'll pump out very quickly. So this is my reclaimer. To hook this up, we got two lines, one going in, one going out. This is a universal gas reclaimer, meaning it can be used for multiple gases. And then it can be cleaned out and used for other gases, changing this filter. R12 and 134A and other gases use different fittings. 134A uses half-inch fittings. That's a half-inch adapter, which connects that to that, which will then allow me to hook my gauge set up to this. Probably going to end up charging this thing with my other tank instead of this, because this should sit for a while, equalize temperature and pressure, and then I can vent the air out of it. It's a whole other process. I do have some virgin gas. Maybe it's enough. We'll try to recharge it that way. Okay, so now we're sealed. Make sure all my fittings are tight. It's not an electrical plug. Make sure I had a spare electrical plug ready to go. Go ahead and move this out a little bit. Get this better in the view. That's a little better, right? It's tough doing things live stream. Switches off. Plug it in. Alright, so the deal here is this is a compressor itself. It's really all it is. And it's going to siphon the liquid or gas. In this case, it's gas because it's an automobile. But it can do liquid because this is used in the refrigeration industry also. So it can do liquid and gas by just moving this halfway. And it's going to siphon it from the gauge set, which is closed right now. It's going to go through the blue and the red line, the center line. Once I open these two gauges, into the machine. This is a filter to filter out any crap that's in here, but what it won't do is it won't remove any sealant that can spoil my machine, unfortunately. There's not enough in here to test it for sealant. Hopefully it's just air, in which case it's going to pump the air out and put it in my tank, which is fine because you're supposed to, before you charge with this, you check tank pressures and vent the air out, and then use it that way. And that's how the machines work. And it's going to bring it into, and you'll see it on the gauge, vacuum. So let's go ahead and just get started here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the machine. I'm going to open up the venting port. I'm going to open up the inlet port. And I'm going to open up my low side. And I'm going to open up my high side. And now we're going to let it go ahead and run. And you can see there's not much in here. It's probably just air. And I'm going to let it run until it draws a vacuum. On the way to this one. There we go. So that's why I said there wasn't much in there. It had to be probably air because it was all building up in this hose right here. I didn't even open the tank to push it into the tank. There's a high side pressure gauge here, a low side pressure gauge here. So this tells you how much pressure is coming in. This tells you how much pressure is pushing out. There's a high pressure cutoff switch inside of here. So if tank pressure builds up too high, and the tank pops, which these tanks are rated for high pressure, this machine will shut off. We're almost at 30, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the low side. I'm going to shut that off, and let's see what the gauge does. If it stays down there, then we're good, we're done. It's staying. It's staying, it was just air. So it all probably leaked out last year, sometime, maybe more than that, who knows. I'm going to turn this back on, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to close the tank first, I'm going to close this next, close this next, shut this off, I'm going to close this next, I'm going to close this next, now I'm going to disconnect this fitting right here. It's fitting back off. Can. Oh, I want to put the cap back on because that's also a dryer. If you leave it open to the air, it will suck the moisture out of the air. All I want is a pair of pliers. Disconnect the line from the tank. It's just air at this point. No refrigerant. Alright, so now what I want to do is open you, and you, turn your back on. That'll draw a vacuum in here and keep my dryer dry. Close, close, and close. And what I can do is I can pull a vacuum on this thing if I want to, which is what you do when you make a changeover. I'm not going to because I won't be making a changeover anytime soon. Changeover means a different gas. The only gases you have for automotive is going to be R12 and 134A, unless somebody got cute and decided to go with one of the other exotic gases, like Freeze 12, stuff like that. Set this over here for now, out of the way. Alright, so my next step is going to be to pull a vacuum on this. This is where we're gonna play the weight game. Because to do this, I'm going to pull a 15-minute vacuum on the car. And what that does is hopefully will dry everything in there out. Now, if it is air, chances are the dryer that's in the vehicle is probably no good. So if I ever open the system, I should put a new dryer in it. Now, the dryer is probably built into, as they've been doing for years now, it's probably built into condenser. And sometimes they're serviceable, sometimes they're not. Alright, so we're going to pull a 15-minute vacuum. So it's, we'll call it 11:40. So about 5 minutes to 12. We'll call the vacuum finished. Now, you'll hear the machine is kind of quiet right now. Now you're here, it's actually pumping. And as it pulls a vacuum, it should get quiet. So it's going to be a 15-minute vacuum and then a 15-minute hold. And that's why I'm saying it's going to take time. While this is happening, I can do other stuff. And that's what we're going to do. While this is pulling a vacuum, we're going to keep an eye on the time. We're going to start jacking it up to get ready to do the rear brakes. This is what we're going to do now. So this can sit, keep an eye on the time. And I'm going to go ahead and reposition the camera over here. I'll leave it like that for now because I'm just jacking up. I did add an extra cord to here so I can bring this camera around longer places. Now we're going to go ahead and jack the car up in the rear today. All right, my jacking plate set right about there. Pull out the hydraulic jack. The new jack. Just got this jack last week. Memorial Day sale. Even though it wasn't on sale. I had a gift card. The rapid pump jack, so it goes up quick to the rib frame rail, which makes things a little quicker, if you notice. I had the other jack for years, probably about 15 years. Still works. I had a gift card. I was going to Harbor Freight anyways for something. I decided, what the hell? Let's buy a jack. I'm on the pinch weld there. You can see it. Go down. Pedals. Okay. Okay. Metal plate out. Plate. On this side. Tidy, behave. The dogs are allowed to play. Don't start barking, Tidy. Titan! Come here! Titan! He's a jerk. My dog. He's not hurting anybody by barking, but it is kind of annoying to the neighbors. There you go, buddy. You done saying hi to the other dogs? This do the same thing. So the pump got quieter, meaning it's done pumping the air out. What air is left in there out? Or leftover refrigerant gases if it was a pump of gas. Who knows? You never know. Okay, now we're on jack stands. Shake it, make sure it doesn't fall off. Okay. Take off the wheels. Flip socket extension and my 19.5 socket. Pop the wheels off, and I'll move the camera to whichever side I decide I want first. Probably this side. Okay. It's one wheel. Yeah, compared to this one. Turning out to be a nice day now. Yesterday wasn't too bad, except for the threat of rain all day, and then it did rain, and the sun came back out, and then more rain, and interesting stuff. Alright, so to get this drum off, you have to get this cap out. Do this side first. Let's go ahead and reposition this camera. See bird's eye view over my shoulder, what I'll be doing. Should work. Peek. Got my walk. Sure. Alright, I gotta get the cap off first. Take a small, flat screwdriver, preferably. Small, flat screwdriver. This is a cheaper one. So, usually there's a flare you can grab and pop one of these pops off. This guy seems to be down and inside. Might be tougher to get this one out than usual for me. Oh wow, it's like a focus for a drum. Had to hammer the hair, but that's okay. So just my ball peen side. snap it back around. Go back in, and now I'm just gonna have to take this nut right here off of here. Cotter pin. Just be a lock nut. Do the same thing on this side while I'm playing with it. And I'll just stay on that side. It's been a while since somebody was in here, if at all. Chances of somebody been in here at least once. Dirt out of there. This back around. It's just a dust boot. There's no grease. Right here, if you look, there's no grease. It's not that type of bearing. It's a seal bearing. It's just keep the cap there. All right, let's see what size it is. Start with my largest. It's bigger than this though. Find my bigger sockets. Try something bigger. Good lord, the mess I've got going on here. Here is 34 waist. No, way too big. So it's like 36. Yeah, that's way too big. Hmm. 30. Tool gets so old you can't even read the size. There are 20. No, 30. Has 30 in there. It's 30. It is a tad big, but I think that'll work. Probably 29 or some American equivalent. I'm gonna feel how tight this is because I never looked at the torque spec. Tight. It's about, judging by the amount of pull, about 100 foot-pounds. I'll have to see if I can find the specs up here. Should have looked it up last night is what I should have done. I would have ended up doing is torque it to 100 and look it up later. Now the drum should come out of here. Come off of here. Now, because it's a drum, sometimes there's a lip. Go on the other side. Pry bar, real pry bar. do it so you guys can see this on camera. On the big camera is. I just cracked my little charger. This is a seal bearing that comes as part of the drum. So the new drum, it's going to come with the bearing. Coming. It's coming. 10. Oh yeah, we need shoes. There we go. There we go. Okay. So here's our shoes. And a little thin here, a little thin here. Now it's not that it needs shoes. It's just it can use shoes. Alright, so that's one side. Let's go ahead and pop the other drum off and then we'll start changing it on this side. Not a big deal. These aren't that hard. These are type of system that you have an anchor down here, and then you have an actuator here and here, and you step on the brakes. This side does most of the work. This shoe right here is supposed to do most of the work, but most of the work for some reason is back here. Making sense. Inspection hole. And the shoe area where it wears the most. You can see one here. Right here, should be right here. But you can see a lot of shoe material left here, and not a lot of shoe material left here, which is kind of weird. Yeah, that's fine. Wheel cylinder's fine. Weird. Anyway. Let's go ahead and get the other drum off the rest of the way, then we'll start getting that off. Where are we at on time? Let's check the time. Oh, 55, 11:55. This thing's gotten very quiet. What I'm going to do is shut off both of these valves. When it's very quiet, it means it's a perfect vacuum. It means it's not doing a whole lot of work. Now we'll shut this off. I'll leave this hooked up right now. There's a little valve in here that shuts this off from, actually, let's just get into this. So I hear gurgling inside there. There's a little valve in here that shuts this off from the line. So now the vacuum is in here also. So now we're going to let it sit another 15 minutes. So 10 after. And if it stays at 0, we're good to recharge. We're not going to recharge until after we do some great job because I'm like that. I know I need to watch it when I recharge. So it makes a difference. So I'd rather just keep on the brake job and come back later and do it. But we can check this. We can check this at 10 after and see where we're at. So you see what I'm saying about multitasking? Normal rear brake job, rear front brake job, a vehicle pays a technician, professional technician, 2 hours. An AC recharge usually pays a technician an hour. Now, I did brakes last week on the front of the car. Did exactly what they do now. See, it's coming even. I'm not even prying it. It's coming. What it does is it jerks it off. Tapping it and pulling on it. It just goes that little bit at a time. Now this is a unique type of adjuster in that it doesn't have a star wheel that ratchets. This has a type of adjuster that when you step on it, on the brake, the service brake, the regular hydraulic brake, it automatically separates and adjusts the brakes for you. Ready to time. I'm just going to give it A little bit of room. Come off now. Getting drums off can sometimes be the hardest part. Sometimes the groove is so big that it will catch the edge of the shoe and not move at all. And just equalize it to the point where it's moving again. I'm going to have it equalized. You can just walk it off. I'll just keep doing this. Try not to breathe this dust. Not the best to breathe. Once you get the drum on, you want to wet everything down with brake clean or water. Don't use any oil-based cleaners or anything. What brake clean is actually for is to safely remove the stuff with an alcohol. There it goes. Doesn't help with the bearing because the bearing kind of sticks to the spindle a little bit. See that? The bearing kind of sticks to the spindle a little bit. Makes it a little bit more difficult to pull off. There's a very tiny, a very, very, very tiny lip there. More likely, this rust right here is what was gripping it. And same thing, we've got more in the back than in the front. It's kind of weird because I swore in my mind, most of where a lot of your cars have a little inspection plug right here that you can look at it to see where your rear shoes off without taking the shoes off. And number one, I don't feel a plug here. Number two, I have more wear back here for some reason. The vehicle rotates this way. When you step on the brakes, it should dig in that way. This would actually fight it and help this push that way. So that's kind of weird. I mean, unless these are thin to start out with, possibility. I don't want to take a look at the new shoes. This is the ratcheting mechanism right here. That's the self-adjuster. Let's go on the other side. Let's go ahead and change those shoes out. Then we'll move the camera, come back over here, and do this side. Yeah, time. 12 o'clock. Still got 10 minutes to check that. So we're ready to charge it. All right. So, tools I need. I like to use vice grips. Needing those vice grips? But I did, yeah, I did. Needing those vice grips. For this particular type of brakes, I like to use vice grips. Help. Did I bring that eyeball over here? A little bit of it. I left it. Might use this. Get those anchor clips off. This with this. Depending on the mood. Alright, so you guys can see what I'm doing, sort of. Move this. More shear, maybe. Probably blocking most of it, but yeah, I'll try not to block it. It's tough for me to see it, so I'm gonna try to be mindful not to block stuff. Alright, so these clips right here hold the shoe against the backing clip. This is the return spring, this is the return spring, and this is a spring for the self-adjuster. So, first spring I want to get off is that bottom one, because it's not really doing anything for me right now. I'm going to take vice grips, locking pliers. I prefer vice grip, brand vice grips, because they seem to work the best. I'm going to go ahead and clip this spring. And I'm going to kind of give it a little while pulling and pop that spring out. Now, you're not used to doing rear drum brakes, you have a short memory, take a picture of it before you take it apart. Every cell phone nowadays has a camera in it. Now this top one, I'm going to try to do the same thing. Try gripping it, and then try pulling it, stretching it on that side. See if I can get it to pop off from within the hole underneath there. Is that key? Try this side. Alright, I'm not gonna this type of clip, push this in while sliding it down. It's or lifting the pin up, one or the other, whatever works. Out. This should come out the back side. Actually, remove this one shoe. Shoe comes out there. Keep your hardware organized. Next, clip squeeze in there if you can. Pull that out. Now the shoe is free. Now let's see if we can get this spring out. Yeah, there's this spring. So that spring was hooked in on that side. So what I should have done was pull this side out first. I should have done. Alright, this other spring is there. It's going to be a little tough to remove one side. Don't do that. Yeah. I'm going to get that back in yet, but until I got it out. Figure it out. This clip here. So this is going to be interesting. I've got to slide this back and that'll. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to clean all this up and get it ready to go back together before I go changing that out. Take my trusty brake clean. Lay it down. Oh, that dust and dirt blow off. Again, try not to breathe it. Now this is not asbestos. This has not been in vehicles since the 80s. Late 90s. So still don't want to breathe it. Time check. 4 minutes. We'll take a look at that. See where we're at. Alright, so you can see it's pretty clean. I'm just gonna give it a quick swipe of everything. This cleans off pretty easy when it's dry. Doesn't have any oils or grease in it. Okay. So these sit here, and when you step on the brakes, they move out. So they rub on these pads. Let's sit on here. And you can see the paint has been scraped off. So these are the points you want to put a little lube on. We used to use white lithium grease. We just use caliper grease now, because caliper grease doesn't wash away so easy. You could use dielectric silicone grease. That will keep you from getting a squeak noise when you step on the brakes. You'll hear a squeak noise coming from the back of the car when you have drum brakes like this. It's coming from these pads. You'll step on it, you squeak, and then you let them go. You hear a squeak. Coming from this. Tab there. a dab there. Not that you have to in there, but it doesn't hurt. Alright, so that's this side. Now, we're going to do the other side. Alright, let's go ahead and get the new shoe out. New shoes out. And the new hardware kit. Somewhere in these boxes I have hardware kit. Shoes. Alrighty then. So, here are new shoes. When you have crap on your hands, try not to touch the shoes too much. Here you have one pair. Yeah, these are thinner. Look, these are thinner. Alright, this is the other side. These are this side. These are this side. That there for now. Let's grab you. Let me go get my slide cutters. Let me show you how I do these without fighting. It's all about not fighting auto mechanics. Got these closed down pretty far. Take these slide cutters. Try to get the head of the spring, even in between the spring coils if I can, just enough to grip it. Slide it in. Squeeze the slide cutters. Take the vice grips. Flip it on the cable. And now the cable can be played with without any problems. So make sure this is the right one. And it is. Slide it on the way it came off. Open up the vice grips. And boom. Swapped over. So now I need to deal with this silk adjuster. So, not too bad. What I need to do is I need to compress this as low as it'll go, as small as it'll go. Because that's the self-adjustment right there. When you step on the brakes, what happens is this moves out and the spring brings it in. And that is what makes self-adjustment. Alright, hardware kit. Hardware kit is the spring hardware kit. Comes with enough materials for both sides. So I need to find all these springs that I took out. Whatever one goes. The garbage can, throw those away. So we got a blue spring. We had a blue spring. We got a small blue spring. Small blue spring. Well, let's do this one first. Since this was the one, it's more of a pain in the butt. The rest goes there. This goes here. That. That. It's there like that. We're new pins. Deeper in the hole. This is where it becomes a balancing act. These clips are slightly different than the others in that. These have a slot Just to take some force to compress that spring, because it's a new spring. That's why you get new hardware, because the new hardware works better than the old, because it's tighter. This is always the fun part. This is always easier on your eye level with the vehicle. In other words, you're up on a lift. Ground like this becomes a bit cumbersome. Where'd you go? Oh, really? Where'd you go? Ah, that flat screwdriver. Compress yourself. I have to hold it in still. Do this. It's falling apart over here. Heating up the metal a little bit without doing that. Oh, wrong way. Yeah. Fun stuff. Let's try getting this on here first. Then try getting that self-adjuster in. I think that should make a difference with me playing with this thing, but I'm gonna try it. Trying to put my body weight in this, and I can't turn it. Again, a little off the side. Come on, get yourself in the hole. Normally the clips aren't as bad. Just this type of clip is kind of a pain. Okay, there we go. Now we've got it. Take this. Grip it, rotate it. Now it's engaged. Put the shoe up where it belongs. Now let's see if we can get this in where it belongs. Like that. Easily set. There we go. Okay, now we just gotta do the other one, right? The other side. This. Get the other clip and the other post. There's that screwdriver. Try the screwdriver on this side. Alright. Did we get any foliage over here? Go ahead and put this on here. This on here. Get that through the hole it goes to, which is that one right there. We can get that back in later. take the self-adjuster and go back on last after you get this shoes on here. Alright. Where'd that pin go? I heard it fall. Oh, the pin fell on the cable. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now that was a little easier because I had this shoe kind of down in this groove here that I can now lift up, push into place, which I should have had this up there first. Alright, so blue spring next. Now this blue spring was so this, and that hooked in over. Yeah, you do. There's this. This goes here. This goes here. This goes this. It's a little better. Yeah, I had the wrong hole. Did you catch all that, guys? That's how I was able to do that without taking the shoes all the way back off. Feel it for some reason. It's not sliding. Yeah, okay. Now we can go ahead to there. Now we can go to that one up there. So that clip onto that hole I had that other spring into. It's the second spring, not the first spring. Or second hole. Put this on. I'm going to try to look at the edge of the spring. I have some try to do this out. See if we can hook that sucker into that hole. Stop! Try again. Come on, get up on the pad. Nobody wants to do drum breaks. See why nobody wants to do drum breaks? Out of the way, in all the way. I mean, in all the way, not out of the way. Should be sliding in here. Should be that. might help. Yeah, might help. Bottom screw. Now maybe bottom screw will help lever this in place. It's a little flat. This guy. We'll find out. What the heck? Seriously. What the heck is going on here? Going on right here. Out all the way. What I did. That's where I left you. That's where I left you. Self-adjuster either ratcheted itself back out or I have ratcheted it back out. I reset it. I have maximum movement. See there? Good movement on there. We get this to go inside that hole. Sounds like it's sitting down with this particular setup. Whew. Pain in the butt. Alright, so center that. The rest of my new hardware is right there. Shoes is right there. Shoes right there. These two shoes. Springs. All trash. Alright, so this side's done except for the drum back on. Let's go do the other side, I guess. Should be well past that time. Let's see if we stick a vacuum in that system. Tools. Over to the other side. Oh, I like fall asleep. This side will be a little easier because it doesn't feel so cramped over here. Still holding 30 inches of vacuum. Still streaming, right? Still shows I'm streaming. I don't know if I am or not. Still shows I'm streaming. Take a peek what we got here. Oh, see a heads-up camera moving right now. I feel this is all just being a disaster right now, isn't it? Negative over there. That's looking good. There we go. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is see if I've got a live stream stuff. Showing twirlies here. Says I'm live. Says I'm live. Alright, looks like it's still working. Alright. Looks like it's still working. Sorry about that little pause if you're watching. Looks like it's still working. Probably not, but it looks like it's still working. Alright, let's go ahead and do the other side now. So as you go a little quicker, and that we've already gone through the panes. The other side. So this top off. That was the last thing we should put on that side. Pop this one off first on this side. Not an easy feat, I'll tell you that. Got these springs kind of fold around everything. The same way we did the other side. Took it off. We took it off this way, on this side. I just got lucky last time. I just forced it out. That's what I did. I just forced it out. Let's go ahead and pop this bottom spring out now. They make all kinds of spring pliers and stuff, and the reason why I don't like those because it gouges out. And while I don't care about the old shoes, I do care about the new shoes. So I'd rather fight with them this way. Fight with them later. Having it, ratcheting it. That's not right on the other side. That side's not grabbing it, ratcheting. This side is. So I have a feeling I have something not in right over there. Feeling. I think it's supposed to go up the side of there. That. Almost like I put the shoe on wrong or something. I'll have to figure that out. I'm going to have to fix that side. Yeah, let's finish this side first. This is also a lot stiffer over here than it was over there. So, second hole. Oh, the other side isn't so easy. And they're probably taking a whole other side apart because this side just feels so much stiffer with the old springs, and yet with new springs it should feel stiffer. So something doesn't seem right on the other side then. The heck? There we go. Break clean. Okay. And the dust boot. Alright then. Down. Some stuff on here. Slide. Gotta get it last time. Do a little dab here and there. Alrighty. You, you. Like that. That. Grab this little green spring right here. This green spring goes there. This goes like this. This goes like this. You first. The green spring. There you. Same. Why you being such a jerk? Jerk. Try it like that, but it doesn't feel right. It's in there, right? You know, with some sprung jerk. Not so easy to take out like the yellow one was. I have to recheck the other side because this side's doing some different stuff. This side's doing some different stuff. Alright, shoe. This is supposed to hook. Like that. Yes. That's the thing I'm gonna have to check on the other side. I don't think it's hooked in on the other side. It's just kind of stupid pin. It's just kind of set on there, not hooked. It needs to be hooked for that self-adjuster to work. I'm gonna take that aside, partially at least. I'll check. Inside's usually a little weak. Maybe not this big. Oh, it's just kind of on there. Sure that's on there. Oh, jerk. Double jerk. We got it. But I don't want it. Let's try it. There we go. Maybe should have been using the screwdriver. Alright, so that's on there like that. Stay like that. Now we can go ahead and put the self-adjuster in. Let's go ahead and next. spring out. Maybe we'll do self-adjust turn all the way now. Alright, so the green spring now. Windows in here to there. I'll try to get that sucker to go in that hole. Of course, I have to use words like try, get, hole. That's fun stuff. See, this doesn't seem to be so people friendly. So these type of springs, say no, people friendly now. Usually not so bad. Usually don't have such a twist to them to get them in. Try it here. So push it, pull and push at the same time. Just doesn't want to go in the hole. Whew. There it is. Let's see how far we can get this to go in. Hopefully that's enough to get the drum on. About not a couple minutes. Gotta go around the other side and fix that. Let's go around the other side and see if we can fix that side. It's definitely not right. It should be hooked in. This side should be hooked in. Okay. Peek. We'll get that side right. To me, I don't think it's right. Peek at that. What you expected. Shield here. Yeah, that spring has tension to it, so that side's fine. Just this side where it's not hooked in. So I guess I'm gonna have to take these big springs out. Readjust that self-adjuster. I don't want to get this spring out without hurting something. Came out easy. This one next. Okay. in there. Let's get that screwdriver out. Spin it. That's how you get the spring out there. Alright. So, this is supposed to put me in the center. It's on the set adjuster. It's supposed to hook on that little loop thing there. There. But I think this is supposed to go up and into there. That feels better. Go ahead and get this pin back in. This pin does not like this hole. So what it is about this pin and this hole does not like it. That, my friends, is why we never rip apart both sides at the same time. Because if you do, you could end up lost. In this case, you feel something wasn't right when I took the other side of it. It just felt too gawky. Come on. Spin everything, man. Felt too connected. The front shoe off. The leading shoe off. Felt too connected. I don't know if you just heard that sucker ratchet. Alright, bottom spring back on. Sometimes, we haven't done these in a while like I have. The last time I did rear drums on freaking focus. See, at least 8 years ago. Last time I did drum breaks on a focus. They may not even be the same layout of this. Sticking with the thing. Yeah. See, when I pull on it, it should ratchet out. That's how that self-adjuster works. When you step on the brakes, service brakes, the hydraulic cylinders push out, and if there's room to click, it clicks, and then it holds it out there. So next time you step on the brakes, the pedal doesn't have to go down so far. So that's how these self-adjusters work. They're very reliable self-adjusters. Much more reliable than the Star Wars stuff. It's just they're finicky, that's all. You have to be exactly right. Alright, spin on. Yeah. Spin on. Right there. That's it. Alright, let's go ahead and center this. Center this. Let's go ahead and bring this in as far as it go. Shoot as much free space as possible. That. See if this drum will go on. If the drum will go on, it'll automatically adjust when you step on the brakes. Like that. Okay, let's go do the other side. I brushed that all leafed up. Yeah. I keep the rakes back. I got rake the leaves back here. sun doesn't hit this far back as much as it does this, so break. You end up with that shit. Track this down a little more. Like that, I told me not the shoes. Let's just make sure the shoes are center. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and torque those to 100 foot-pounds. Put the caps on and call it a day. We'll just break it. Should be in here. The light. I'll look up this torque spec, and if it's above 100 foot-pounds, pop the caps back off and make sure of them. It's hard to turn on your fingers, which is supposed to be a lock nut because you don't want your wheel falling off. I'll add the torque spec below once I look it up. That felt about right. I'll do the rear shocks later. Got them. I've got the wheels off. I might as well, right? Probably going to do the rear shocks after I do the AC stuff. Alright, so we got to get this cap back on. Kind of has this rim around it here. Do a little tap. Little tap, tap. There it goes. Now you can see where I got push that off. Without any other impressions on it. That's probably the first time that cap's been off. Because usually there's an impression when it's been pulled off. Okay. Pop this cap back on. So with that impression, that'll make this cap a little easier to get off because now you have a place to stick the screwdriver into it. There. And there goes the head camera. Oh, well, apparently the head camera just went out. So find out what happened there. It shows I'm connected. Still connected. Turn it back. I don't know what's going on. Well, I lost power. Probably lost power from that stupid power thing. Try putting that in my front pocket instead of my back pocket. Maybe it'll work better. Alright, let's see. Are we still streaming? We're still streaming. I don't know if it's one continuous long stream or if it's split it up like last week. If it splits it up, what I do is I record this while I'm doing it. Now, I don't know how long it'll record for, but I'm recording it while I do it. That just is what that is. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is recharge this thing. Still 30? Yeah, still holding back. That's good. That means there's no major leaks. So what I needed to know is get the scales, 134A tank, in the basement. It'll take me about a second. Probably going to lose range on the Wi-Fi on the head camera. What's going on? Alright. Let's see. Did we lose the head camera? Oh, no. Alright, so this tank, I have enough. Found out to be enough. This is a scale. This tank over here. I probably could use that tank. Been sitting long enough. It's cool though. The tank is cool. It's cool. This tank is long, so maybe shouldn't use that tank. This top of here. Put this here. And this. That hole lined up with the hole inside the tank. My luck, it's not enough, but I only need 18 ounces. All I need. That's supposed to be. I only need 18 ounces. 1.12 pounds is all this part takes. Hopefully this has enough in it to do that. Put that there, because I don't really want to touch something like that. Turn you on. Should zero itself out. Zero right now. Okay, so open up the tank. I should flow gas. The manifold gauges. Now if I open up the manifold gauge and watch this, and I'm going to flow it until it says 18 ounces, and hopefully it will. Half an ounce, 7 ounces, 1 ounce, 1.2, 1.4, 1.7. Usually goes a little faster than this, but the tank's almost empty. I should have recycled the tank into the other tank. 1.5 ounces. Now my pressure is up to 50 on the low side. And the reason why I'm doing it on the low side is because I can turn this car on. And it might turn the AC on and suck what's in the tank out. That's how you empty a refrigerant tank. It's on max AC. Full cool. This is running. Got 3.5 ounces. 3.9. 4 ounces. 4.3. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. 4.5. 4.6. 4.8. 5. 5.4. And I went back down. 5. 5.2. The wind's blowing too, so. My low side now is at 27. My high side's at 160. 6.1, 6.4, 6.6, 6.8, 7. 7 ounces. Low side pressure is going to keep building up until the cooling fan comes on. I think it just went out. I think it just came out low. Yep. And now the high side gauge is going down. That's a half a pound. Eight ounces is a half a pound. That's what I'm going to have to indicate. I'm going to switch tanks. That's what I'm going to have switching tanks. So I'll just keep track of how much I put in there and then just continue on with the other tank. The wind's blowing my tank pops around too, so 9 ounces. Or 9 ounces, I should say. Slowing down. Tank's probably empty now. Guess I didn't have anywhere near as much as I thought in that tank as I thought I had. Again, it's a cool day. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to wait for the wind to calm down like it is right now. It put in 9 ounces. Let's go ahead and switch tanks. I got to put in 11 more ounces to fill it up. Now, you have to add a little bit for hoses because you're going to be pushing gas through the hose also. All right, so first things first. First thing I got to do is get the air out of this tank. That's refrigerant. Because if you don't get the air out, you're going to push the air into the car. That's not a good thing. So you had about 1 ounce per hose-ish, usually 2 ounces per long hose. We'll call this 1 ounce. We'll call it 2 ounces extra. So, zero this out. We need to do sorry. I had to zero it out and not turn it off. Either way, it should zero itself once it restarts. There we go. So now we're at 0 ounces. We want to add 11 to make it 18. And we're going to add 2 ounces for hoses. Let's call it 2 ounces. Zero this out. Now let's go ahead and open this up. So it's flowing a lot faster now because this tank's got a lot more gas in it. Nine, 10. There's 11. They close the valve. 11.8. The valve up a little bit. 12.7. And the valve just a hair. There we go, 13. That's 13 ounces right there. Ended up at 12.8. Go ahead and close this valve off. Take a look at our pressures. Got about 25 on the low. 230 on the high. We only charged her up to the high side. Guess I never opened that back up. Guess that was all on the lines. 15 there. Yeah, so we're still at 25. 25, 23-ish. Looks like gauge. Looks like it's cycling on and off right now. Yeah, it's cycling. It's kind of odd for this type of day, but okay. I'm going to go ahead and drive it for a couple days like this, see what happens. Not sure why it's cycling. Usually, might just because it's a cool day out. Might just because it's a cool day out. Let's see how it goes. I got a temperature gauge. Stick it in the dash, see where we're at. You're in max AC. You want to stick this in the center vent. See where you're at. Feels cool. I should have checked out the temperature today. You guys can refer back to the gauge maybe to see what temperature it was today. Let's sit there for a couple minutes. Sure this valve is closed. Let's open this off. Take this off. See how it sealed it. There's no gases coming out of here. Go ahead and put my end cap back on. Still got gas in here. Go ahead and shut this off. Still cycling. It's got a thermostatic expansion valve in this vehicle. So pressures are set by that. We're down to it's about 40 degrees, which isn't bad, obviously. It's probably about 65, 60 degrees out here, so 20-degree drop is not bad. And basically how you have to gauge it by ambient temperature versus AC's temperature. It is air conditioning and not cooling. It's not like when you turn your heat on to get heat. It's air conditioning. It's conditioning the air by removing moisture from it and also lowering the temperature. It does that by, as the air flows past the evaporator core, it will pick up moisture, which will drip out that little drain hole on the bottom, and it will cool the air down as it comes through. Any heat that's picked up is transferred to the condenser, where it's let off, cooled down, and then brought back around to pull heat from the passenger compartment and transfer it to the condenser. That's the only job of this thing, is to pull heat from the evaporator core and bring it to the condenser. That's the only job of an air conditioning system. Or any type of refrigeration system. Air conditioning means you're conditioning the air. Refrigeration system means you're cooling products. Otherwise, they work the same way. All right, so let's close this up. I remove the high side fitting. by turning the little valve to isolate the valve from the vehicle. Then unclip this if I can. There we go. Unclip this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to vent all the high pressure gas on this side into the center. That's going to lower the pressures in my gauge. It's going to go ahead and put any gases that were in here back into the vehicle. Once that is complete, I close off my high side gauge. When my low side gauge hits its lowest point, I'm going to close the low side gauge. That's going to lock off these two hoses. So now the only thing left is this hose. I'm going to put my cap, which keeps dirt from getting in my fitting, back on. I'm going to remove the low side. And let's see if the low side fitting from the Pontiac Grand Prix fits this. I've grabbed the high side and the low side caps from the Grand Prix. Let's see if it fits. And it fits. There you go, you're a Pontiac now. It's called recycling. That's really it. Air conditioning's done, rear brakes are done. I left back wheels because I'm probably going to do the rear shocks. Unless this video did nothing, and I got nothing but breakups and stuff, but I did have problems setting up today. Air conditioning's nice and cold. Turn it off. That's really it for air conditioning. That's really it for rear brakes. If this all went one shot, with the little hiccups here and there, I may continue on today and do the rear shocks. If it didn't, I gotta figure out what's going on with my connection. I gotta make a better connection. I may have to either find out what's going on with the wire that I have running out here, or run a new wire out here. Maybe an air-roll wire from the attic of my house to the shed to get better Wi-Fi. Because things seems to be screwing up. The head camera probably was because the plug got pulled out. The battery probably died. That's why I use this power pack, because I can go all day with the head camera with that. But if it gets unplugged, it loses the charge, and then only runs for a while. Battery and audio thing only lasts for so long. Yeah, that's really it. Let's take a break. I'm going to see how this one came out. So if I come back, it'll probably be in about 20 minutes. Because I'm going to clean up all this AC stuff. And get a drink, go to the bathroom, do all that happy stuff I haven't been doing while doing all this live streaming. I hope you enjoyed that. So like, subscribe, comment below, all that happy stuff. Thanks for watching.